Hi, I'm Kaylin, your abundance coach, or your abundant relationship coach if you'd like. I am the happy, abundant person with 3 businesses with a 16-year marriage, and people look at us, and when we're around other couples, the other couples get more amorous. They start holding hands and stuff like that because we inspire them. They see the love we have, they see the happiness we're enjoying, they see the fact that we really like being together, and it inspires them. So if you want abundance in your relationship, whether you have a relationship right now, whether you have an unhappy marriage, no matter what your circumstances are, let's talk about getting in the flow so that law of attraction begins to effortlessly bring you a more loving relationship, a more fulfilling relationship, or whatever it is that you want your relationship to hold. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, today I'm going to hopefully have you change your mind about your expectations or about how you see your relationship. And that's because the expectations that you're holding hold a certain energy, or the way you see your relationship comes from a certain energy, and law of attraction is responding to that energy. If you aren't happy with the results, if you aren't happy with what you're experiencing, let's shift your energy, let's change your mind. Let's talk about those expectations so that law of attraction then brings you something else. Let's get in the flow of what's really important to you, not perhaps what you think is important to you. So let's get started. The first thing I want you to consider is the fact that I would say that most relationships fail. No, I don't mean they end or they end in divorce. I mean they fail to meet your expectations. They fail to be the way you think that they should be. Well, what about changing that? What if your expectations, what if the way you think it should be is a little off? What if you could be happier and enjoy more love if you simply changed your mind? Let me give you a little story about that, because I have been helping people for 15 years as a spiritual and personal coach. I also have married 3 sets of people, and I have certainly helped many people with their relationships. So here's one story for you. I had one client that I was working with. He had been in relationship for 19 years. And for 19 years, he had been asking her to marry him. And for 19 years, she had been looking at him like, don't you get tired of asking no? She had had a first marriage. It hadn't gone well. It had left her in a place where marriage was sort of bad. And, it's like, let's just not go there, because as long as we stay here, I'm happy. The relationship will continue. If we go there into the marriage area, it'll all crumble. So that's what he was dealing with. And he came to me one day and he was like, I asked her again. She said no again, bummed out. And I said to him, look, do you want to know how to get her to marry you? And he was like, yes, tell me. And I was like, are you sure? Because you're going to have to change your mind. You're going to have to get in the flow. He's like, anything. So I said to him, after I had set him up, because you have to be willing to change your mind. So I then said to him, then let it go. And he kind of looked at me like I was taking, a little boy taking away his teddy bear, that kind of thing. Like, oh. I said, look, you have what you really want. What's the difference between a title, a certificate? I mean, it's a legal standing, but that aside, you live with the woman you love. You're with her every day kind of thing. What more could you want? And he kind of had to sit with that, and it's like I was asking him to let go of what I said he wanted. What I acknowledged he wanted. I was saying, let it go. Change your mind. You're too hung up on it. And instead, appreciate where you're at. This is so common, and I'll tell you where that story went and how it happily ended in a minute. But this is so common because what happens is we have the wrong idea. We have an idea, perhaps for us ladies, this is getting to be sort of an old idea, so maybe I'm getting old, but, kind of that knight in shining armor who's going to come along and whisk us off our feet and sort of rescue us. Well, rescue us from what? If you change your mind and you look at your expectations, you might set yourself up for having your expectations delivered, because when you change your mind about your expectations, about what your relationship is supposed to be, that changes a lot of things. Like one of the things I tell a lot of ladies is, your husband's not your girlfriend. You have girlfriends. Your husband is your husband. He is hopefully your spiritual partner, but it's a whole different relationship. It's an intimate relationship. It's not a girlfriend scenario. Because a lot of us ladies, we want to like yak and talk about this and talk about that. And it's not necessarily what men are into. If that's what your beau's into, great. If not, understand that your expectation is off. And if you shift your expectations around, you're going to be so happy. Because you're going to go to your girlfriends to have fun and yak and like go shopping or that kind of thing. And then you're going to look to your marriage for intimacy, for a different kind of relating. Same with the guys. Your gal, maybe she likes to like watch the game and drink beer with you. Maybe she likes to sit and watch TV as quality time. And she's like, but we're not talking. And, if she doesn't like that though, that's a guy thing. Have your guy friends do those things with your guy buddies, and don't expect your wife or your girlfriend to be a guy. She's not. She's something else. You do something else with her that you hopefully don't do with anyone else, and certainly not your male buddies. So, we need to get our expectations clear. And that's only the tip of the iceberg. There are so many different ways in which we really misperceive what relationship is meant to do for us, what the purpose is. The purpose is really for us to share who we are. It is really a part of our lives that can really move us forward in our own personal growth and our own personal development. It is an area that does amazing things for our karma, the energy that we're born with, that we're refining. Because I always say that karma is not the golden rule, otherwise good things wouldn't happen to bad people. Karma is there before you did anything. So clearly it's not what you did. It was already there. So it's important to recognize that relationships, that's one of the reasons why in relationship, sometimes our best side comes out, and that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to explore and become our best version with each other in our relationship, in our, what I really call our spiritual partnership. And then sometimes our worst sides come out. And that tends to happen when we have the wrong expectations, when we misunderstand what relationship is meant to do, what it's meant to be. It's not meant to elevate us in and of itself. We are meant to elevate ourselves together. It's a subtle difference, and yet it makes all the difference. So we really have to see relationship the right way, as it's meant to be. We have to have the right expectations, because then no relationship can really fail us, whether it ends or not. At that point, relationships, they start to just take on a different life. They take on another way that we define and relate to relationship. And that's going to start to really set us up to have a successful relationship. So, to finish my story, my client went back, changed his mind. He got into the flow. Because you can't just say, okay, I don't want that relationship anymore. Okay, I don't want that marriage anymore. I said to him, it can't just be your words. It has to be really deep in you. It has to be your energy. You have to really let it go. And instead, shift your focus, I said to him, on the love, on what you do have. Because if you are happy in your relationship, you're like in a unique place. That's not what everyone experiences. So enjoy that. So he did. He really got in the flow. He shifted his energy, and he used the Golden Flow system to let it go and to really get into that place of appreciating what he had. The next time he called me, he invited us to the wedding. So, change your mind, get in the flow, and really change your expectations. Because, look at just this. If you go from being like, oh, he or she's not doing this, it isn't what I want, and you're pulling. Law of attraction is responding to that pulling energy. Simple laws of physics say that when there's a pull, there's always a pushback. There's always a rebalancing. And so when it rebalances, it goes back to where it had been. Or it gets worse. But the point is, it doesn't come the way you want it to come. On the other hand, if you're all focused on what you're enjoying, what you're loving, what it is giving you, then that gets bigger, it grows. Law of attraction can then respond to the love that you're experiencing there, to the appreciation, to the fun, to the sharing, to the authenticity, to everything that you feel relationship is bringing you. Law of attraction can then respond to all of that and bring you so much more. That's the place you really want to be. So start to shift your expectations. Start to think about what's really important. Is it that he or she does what you think they should do without you telling them? Are you expecting your relationship to read minds? Or what's wrong with being upfront, saying, hey, this is where I'm at, this is what I need. Hey, saying to yourself, hey, I need to go do this with the right person. Make sure that your relationships are set up and that you're treating them the way that they need to be. Your friends are your friends. Your intimate relationship is also your friend, but it's a whole lot more. And make sure you're looking at what's most important there so that your expectations are set accordingly and so that you can never be let down. Again, I am Kaylin, your abundance coach or your abundant relationship coach. And I am so happy to help you because the more we all enjoy our relationships, the more fun it is to go out with other couples. There's nothing worse than hearing other couples fighting on top of each other. So change up your relationship and we'll all be much happier. But really, this is all about improving the love in your life. And so I really hope that this video has helped you do that. Please be sure to subscribe to catch more of my relationship videos to help you with those expectations, but really to help you get to that place where law of attraction is bringing everything in the flow for you so that you are effortlessly attracting. Here's to great love in your life. Thanks for joining me.